Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the black hole pickaxe concept for Pickcrafter. Today I'm going to present to you my idea of the black hole pickaxe. Let's get started. Now this is the black hole pickaxe. But why? Why would you want this pickaxe in Pickcrafter? Well, there are multiple reasons. First, it's a passive block break pickaxe, just like Alpha Pickaxe or Ectag Pickaxe. Perfect for lazy people, like me. Second, it's designed to be good for every player. No matter if you're a new player or a seasoned veteran of the Pickcrafter community, the pickaxe is gonna be useful for you. Third, it's cool. I mean, it's a black hole pickaxe. What else do I have to say? And last but definitely not least, it scales with your progress. What does that mean? Well, let me explain. Here we can see two graphs. From the left to the right, we track the player's progress, and from down to up, the power the pickaxe provides. Normally all pickaxes have a flat power. For example, I'm gonna use Alpha Pickaxe as a representative for today. It gets represented by the orange line, and the black hole pickaxe is gonna be represented by the blue line. As we can see, no matter how good the player is, Alpha Pickaxe is always equally strong. Which is awesome if you just received Alpha Pickaxe from a first prestige, but as time goes on, the less OP Alpha Pickaxe gets. At some point, it's just one of many pickaxes. However, the black hole pickaxe works differently. The further you progress into the game, the better black hole pickaxe gets. It fulfills the needs of every player. While a new player is fine with having 6 block breaks per second, a late game player could get 20 for example. So now that you are informed about the basic idea of the black hole pickaxe, let me explain the concept a bit further. So now that you're informed about the basic idea of the black hole pickaxe, let me explain the concept a bit further to you. You're now gonna hear my full description of the black hole pickaxe. Black hole pickaxe concept by Julius Cool. Name: black hole pickaxe. Description: a pickaxe centered around a black hole. Wait, it's not supposed to change colors. How is this even possible? Better don't use that pickaxe. I don't know what color changing means, but it could be dangerous. Ability name: Inevitable Explosion. Rarity: Legendary. Crit chance: Scaled. Scaled, yes. Chrono slowdown, no. How to obtain? You have a 1 in 1 million chance to obtain it every time you craft something in the furnace. Yes, I'm aware that a player will have to wait dozens and possibly hundreds of hours, even with a maxed furnace. The black hole pickaxe ability is made out of 3 parts. Part 1 is active while the pickaxe is on fire, the second ability activates when the fire ends, and the third ability is a passive one. Main ability. Ability 1. The black hole pickaxe destroys blocks passively and also has instant block break. How many depends on the counter. Second ability. Ability 2. For every 100 blocks that got collected while the ability 1 was active, the pickaxe is gonna explode 1 block at the end of ability 1. Keep in mind the count of ability 2 is gonna reset every time you activate ability 1. To restrain the pickaxe from becoming too OP, one can only get 500, I'm gonna call it block score, per block break. Means block fortune over level 500 will not count towards ability 2 in a nutshell. Passive ability, ability 3. Lastly, the black hole pickaxe does something that no other pickaxe does. Even though it's a cool concept, there's no pickaxe that uses something similar. It remembers how many blocks you've collected while holding this pickaxe, only during ability 1 and ability 2 uses. That means once you receive the pickaxe, the counter is gonna be 0. And every time you collect a block while ability 1 is active and also blocks you get from ability 2, you're gonna bring the counter higher and higher. Every time you collect a block, not break but collect. That means if you break a block with 100 block fortune, you add 100 to the counter, not 1. You add +1 to the counter. Depending on how many blocks you've collected so far, the more blocks the pickaxe will passively break per second. Here's how it works. For every digit on the block counter, the pickaxe destroys +2 block breaks per second passively. That means 1 or more blocks collected equals 2 block breaks per second. 10 or more blocks collected means 4 block breaks per second. 100 or more blocks collected means 6 block breaks per second, and so on. At 1 million blocks collected, you have 14 block breaks per second. At this point it would surpass Alpha Pickaxe. This might seem a lot, but 1 million blocks is actually not that much. A late to mid game player could easily pull this off. At over 1 billion blocks collected, we have 20 block breaks per second. This is probably the upper limit of what a sane person could reach, since this is already 10% of my lifetime blocks collected. I don't think this really needs a limit, since a normal person would never reach 1 trillion. But if you want to prevent modders from going crazy, you could just set 26 block breaks per second as a max for now. Now to, in my opinion, the most important part of a good pickaxe concept. Testing the numbers to see whether the pickaxe is too OP or too trashy. Spoiler, I think this pickaxe is pretty well balanced. Let's take 5 players. One just started playing, he's Prestige 0. One is still pretty new, he's Prestige 5. One is pretty decent by now, he's Prestige 50. One is actually good, he's Prestige 200. And one is a very good and seasoned player, he's Prestige 1000. I'm just gonna assume that those players are actually not prestige rushers and that their prestige number is actually representing their overall progress in the game. We're now gonna run some numbers to see how good this pickaxe is for every player. Oh, and I should mention I'm gonna act like every player is clicking with 10 CPS per second, which seems pretty realistic. Let's start with the guy that just started playing. We assume he has no block fortune and was just very lucky with his furnace crafts. His pickaxe fuel is 0 as well, so the ability only lasts 20 seconds. His counter is currently at 1000 blocks. So here are the numbers. 8 passive block breaks per second plus 10 active block breaks per second times 20 seconds times block fortune plus 1 equals 360 blocks collected from ability 1. This results in an explosion destroying 3 extra blocks at the end. Let's continue with the beginner. We assume he has 5 block fortune, his pickaxe fuel is 7, his counter is currently at 10,000 blocks, so here are the numbers. 10 passive block breaks per second plus 10 active block breaks per second times 34 seconds times block fortune plus 1 equals 4080 blocks collected from ability 1. This results in an explosion destroying an extra 40 blocks at the end. Now to the decent player. We assume he has 15 block fortune, his pickaxe fuel is 20 and his counter is currently at 100,000 blocks. Here are the numbers. 12 passive block breaks per second plus 10 active block breaks per second times 60 seconds times block fortune plus 1 equals 21,120 blocks collected from ability 1. This results in an explosion destroying an extra 211 blocks at the end. This is a decent explosion, as you would see it from any other pickaxe. Now to the pro. We assume he has 50 block fortune, his pickaxe fuel is 55 and his counter is currently at 10 million blocks. Here are the numbers. 16 passive block breaks per second plus 10 active block breaks per second times 130 seconds times block fortune plus 1 equals 172,380 blocks collected from ability 1. This results in an explosion destroying an extra 1,723 blocks at the end. That's a lot. And now to the fun part, the real pro. We assume he has 1000 block fortune, his pickaxe fuel is 1005 and his counter is currently at 1 billion blocks. So here are the numbers. 20 passive block breaks per second plus 10 active block breaks per second times 2030 seconds times block fortune plus 1 equals 60,960,900 blocks collected from ability 1. This results in the explosion destroying an extra 304,500 blocks at the end. That's a lot. Well, you just saw the numbers, but I should explain them a bit further. The part with the guy that just started playing is not very interesting, so let's skip him. The beginner and mediocre's numbers are pretty much the same as if you compare it to Alpha Pickaxe. But if we take a look at the Pro and Master, we see something interesting. The Pro gets a pretty big explosion, it's about 3.5 times as big as the biggest instant explosion in the game right now. His passive block breaks is pretty good as well. A bit better than Alpha Pickaxe. If we look at the Master's numbers though, we can see how good this pickaxe can really be. I should mention that a counter of 1 billion is extremely high, so I doubt a lot of people will ever reach this. 20 passive block breaks per second. That's really good. Not as good as Max Curse Pickaxe used to be, but at least this pickaxe can be used without any required item. The passive block breaks aren't even the cool and OP things about this pickaxe. The cool thing comes from the explosion. Despite the pickaxe granting around 60 million blocks while ability 1 is active, which isn't actually not that much, most blocks come from the explosion. That means if you have a block fortune level over 100, you're gonna get more blocks from the explosion as from ability 1. If you have block fortune level 500, you're gonna receive 5 times as many blocks from ability 2 as from ability 1. That's not just really cool, but also a good way to scale a pickaxe to a player's needs. Most pickaxes break a flat amount of blocks, and no pickaxe actually gets better the better you get. That's sad, since I really think this is a cool concept. Also, this pickaxe prevents people from aggressively rushing prestiges too hard, since without a lot of pearls and block fortune, the prestige number won't matter when it comes to the OPness of the pickaxe. Someone with prestige 3000 but block fortune level 200 is gonna get as much out of the pickaxe as someone with prestige 200 and block fortune 200. So TLDR, prestige isn't everything, you need to progress in a lot of areas to take advantage of this pickaxe. Better players need better pickaxes, and that's just what this pickaxe provides. If you get better, their pickaxe does so as well. This also means you will have a pickaxe that you can use in every stage of the game, from early to end game. Plus, it's really cool. So is this pickaxe balanced? Well, in my opinion, yes, definitely. Since I spent over 2 months developing this idea, I think at this point the suggestion is pretty balanced. Okay, that's it with the concept. You now know everything about this pickaxe. And now what? Well, I don't care whether you like this concept or not, but please do me a favor and vote for this pickaxe. I don't care whether you upvote or downvote or both, but please go into the Pickcrafter Discord server and vote for my suggestion, no matter if upvote or downvote. The link to the suggestion will be down in the video description. I would also greatly appreciate a YouTube comment telling me your attitude towards this pickaxe. Again, I can't stress enough how important your vote is for me. I hope you fulfill my favor, and with that, thank you so much for watching. Consider also liking the video, and have a good day. This was your favorite Pickcrafter nerd, Jules Cool. I hope you have a great day, and bye.